Sheffield United 0, Arsenal Football Club 6. Yes, people, wife boy, welcome back to another Arsenal match reaction. That has to go down, in my opinion, as one of the easiest Premier League games of all time for Arsenal Football Club. I mean, I put it in the title, and I put it in the title for a reason. I've been on this planet for damn near 22 years now, watching Arsenal from the age of like 6 or 7. And I don't think I've seen an easier game than that. Honestly, guys, Sheffield United were bad. And when I say bad, I mean, I'm talking not even Premier League, probably not even Championship level bad. Now, that was a terrible, terrible Sheffield United team. I mean, going into the game, I was hearing people say 5-0, 6-0. Jeff even said 7-0, I'm sure will be in the stream. And I've come here thinking, yeah, of course, like Sheffield United are not a good team. They're bottom of the table for a reason. But I don't want to get too complacent. Let's go into the game. Let's deal with our business. A 3-0, I'd be happy. After about 4 minutes, I realized it was going to be a long day for Sheffield United. After about 15 minutes, my 3-0 prediction was basically complete. That was a complete walkaway victory, man. We ran all over them, genuinely. Ran all over them, just tore through them. It was honestly, it was like a hot knife through butter the way we were just carving them straight open. I don't think I've ever seen a more dominant performance by Arsenal in the Premier League. And yes, I know we beat West Ham 6-0 before, but that was like a freak performance. I know we were so good, but West Ham were equally so bad. It just looked like Sheffield United were chasing shadows all day, every day in that game. I mean, I felt sorry for them. Their heads were gone. They were lashing out in challenges. They just looked demoralized, to be honest. And that's how you're going to look when you are beaten by a team that doesn't just look like they're better than you. They look like they're levels, like class above you, leagues above you, it felt like. But again, for Arsenal, good job, man, because you can only beat what's in front of you. I know many will say, oh, it was only Sheffield United, etc. But look, you can only beat what's in front of you. This is a Sheffield United team that, at the start of the season, they almost got a draw against Man City if it weren't for a last-second Man City winner. So I know for Arsenal, job done, 6-0, got the goal difference up as well, ran up the scoreline, got some different goal scorers on the team, which is all great as well. But at the same time, let's keep it moving in the right direction. I'm delighted with how it went in this game. Delighted. Only negative on this game is Martinelli's injury. Now, hopes and prayers that it's not a long-term injury and it's just a little impact injury that he can obviously run off coming into our next game against Brentford on Saturday. That's our hopes and prayers. Because if it's anything longer than that, that'll be the only little like black spot on this game that has been overall, to be honest, fantastic game of football for Arsenal Football Club. Really good, man. Really good. I love the way he flew out the traps as well, because when you play against a team like Sheffield United, all the build-up's going to be that they're going to sit back, defend, make it difficult for Arsenal. And it's our job as the offensive team to break them down. And we broke them down basically instantly. I mean, we should have scored after 2 minutes, to be honest. We should have scored after 3 minutes. Then we did score after 5 minutes. So that's just the way it went for our football club, man. We managed to keep knocking on the door, got that first goal. And after we got the first goal, we never really looked back, to be honest with you guys. Just tore through them, as I said, getting goals for fun, chances for fun as well. Dominant display and really good way to run off the weekend as well, because I know Liverpool won earlier in the week as well. Earlier on in the weekend, beating Nottingham Forest with a last-minute winner. That can obviously hurt your confidence when you see your rivals do something like that. Equally, Man City, I mean, I expected Man City to beat Man United, but after going 1-0 down, I was sitting there thinking, oh, like, this could be a little bit of an opportunity for Man City to drop points. It maybe not necessarily lose, but at least not win the game. They came back and won in convincing fashion, 3-1. So the stage was set for Arsenal to respond, and we got the victory here today, which was exactly what we needed. Playing last on Monday, never easy to do. Don't underestimate the psychological factor of playing after all your title rivals, but it didn't seem to hinder us one bit. If anything, it probably gave us more sort of belief and confidence to go out there and get that victory so we can respond after the 2 victories for Man City and Liverpool. And now next week, it sets up perfectly because we play on Saturday against Brentford, a Brentford team that's still dangerous, but struggling right now. And then on Sunday football, I'll be watching it on this channel, streaming after both the Arsenal game on Saturday and on Sunday. Crunch time in the Premier League. Liverpool against Manchester City. One or both of those teams are dropping points. So if all goes well, Arsenal could be top of the table by the end of next weekend with 10 Premier League matches to go. You saw that right. You heard that right here. 10 matches to go after next weekend. That's when we really start to hit form because, guys, March is the biggest month for Arsenal. Genuinely. We've got the game today we won. Fantastic. Brentford on Saturday. Big game as well. Tuesday, you've got Porto. Massive game. Got to respond after our loss against them last couple of weeks ago in the Champions League. Then we've got 10 days until Manchester City, or like 17 days until Manchester City in the Premier League. Humongous game. 30th of March. Man City, Arsenal at the Etihad. Can we get something from that game? A draw's not terrible, but we need something from that football match, in my opinion. But look, guys, really good game today. Another point as well. Partey, back into the team. The long-lost brother back on the football pitch today, man. I ain't seen that geezer in ages. Good to see him back there. He looked a little bit shaky, I can't lie. But it's always good to have him back into the team. Obviously, hasn't played in the team for a while. So perfect opportunity to give him a nice few 30, 35 minutes on the pitch where he can run about. Not really got any pressure to him. Doesn't really need to come out of second gear. So good performance from, good performance from Arsenal. Allowed Partey to get onto the football pitch. Equally, Fabio Vieira on the pitch. Ain't seen that brother in a long time. Nice to see him back around the team. Gabriel Jesus equally as well. Good to see him get some minutes. I'm waiting to see Timber back, guys. When Timber's back, that's basically Arsenal's full strength team. Genuinely. Because I do think that despite how good Kiwior has been, if Timber's there at left back, ooh, Ben White inverting as well into midfield. I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. I like Ben White inverting because for me, yeah, have you noticed, guys, ever since we binned off Alex Zinchenko, yeah, that Donny, that Zinchenko guy, how we've been performing much better. I told you guys, yeah, Zinchenko wastes the space, man. The guy's a good footballer, make no mistake about it. But if you want to win titles, he's not the brother you want in your team. I'm telling you that guy's that for an absolute fact. Pep Guardiola played him sparingly because he knew you can't trust this guy for a 38-game season. He makes silly mistakes, man. Everyone else in the team is assassins. Even David Raya, bro. I like Ramsdale. I genuinely do. But David Raya is about business. This guy don't do anything erratic. He doesn't jump around like a clown. Doesn't do any of this waving and stuff. He's just all about business, bro. Ice cold assassin-like mentality. Same with Ben White, man. Ben White inverting is good. He's doing a better job than Zinchenko inverting. Why? Because all he's doing is going into midfield. That's all we needed from Zinchenko. When Zinchenko inverts, he tries to do what John Stones is doing at Man City, where he inverts playing right wing, left wing, cam, CDM, centre mid. The Donny will play anywhere but left back. Ben White understands, okay, I'm going to invert, but my version of inverting is just going into midfield, and that's it. And I love that from him. That's all we needed. Just go into midfield a little bit, then go back to right back. And then overlap sometimes as well. He's doing his job to perfection. Jorginho again today. How many times do I have to say it? Fantastic performance, man. Professional player. Just total pro. When you need him in the team, he'll get a job done. Rice again. Got a goal today. Pops up in big moments. I like him in that number 8 position. Further forward. Odegaard again. In my opinion, Odegaard was man of the match alongside Martinelli. Them two were superb. Brilliant from Odegaard. Picking up all the right areas. I mean, if you're looking at Sheffield United, I mean, I know they've been struggling, but surely the game plan would have been to limit Odegaard's touches on the football, because when Odegaard gets on the ball, bad things tend to happen for the opposition, as in like Arsenal seem to run through you. So the fact they were giving Odegaard so much open space just bemused me. I mean, surely you got to look at your game plan and go, if we're going to limit one thing about Arsenal, stop Odegaard getting that football. Make it go to other players like Jorginho and Rice if you have to. But don't let Odegaard get on the ball, because he was good today, man. Really good. Saka as well. Now, hopefully taking him off was just like a rest rather than due to actually an injury or something, because we already saw Martinelli come off injured. So hopefully that was just, as I'd say, a little bit of like a rest for Saka, because he was terrorizing the defense for Sheffield United. If Saka stayed on the pitch, I think it could have been 8 or 9-0. Genuinely, guys, not even joking. When it went to 3-0, I was calling for 10. I wanted 10. I've never seen a 10-0 happen before in the Premier League. I wanted to see a 10-0. It could happen. We were on course for it at half time, but we kind of took our foot off the gas going into the second half, which is fair enough at the end of the day, man. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, regardless, really delighted with that one. Havertz, again, got another goal. Dangerous up front as well, played really well. So genuinely, guys, really good overall from this Arsenal team. No fault whatsoever with the performances, and a clean sheet as well. Like to see that. Long may it continue. Because we're at the FA Cup as well now, we've got a long break. Like we're playing a game, waiting a week, playing a game, waiting a week. And I think it's working because we've got our full strength team now, basically. The problem is, right, we're playing Chelsea game got rescheduled. Well, it's going to get rescheduled because obviously they made it through to the 6th round of the FA Cup. So April's going to be chocker for us, man. It's going to be busy, that April schedule, especially if we beat Porto in the Champions League and go through. Then that April schedule might be so busy for Arsenal to the point where we might not even have any time to have rest. So right now, while we've got some space in the team, it's good to start playing, obviously, a lot of fixtures. Sorry, not a lot of fixtures. Got a lot of time on the training ground, a lot of rest. We play our next game on Saturday. That's a good 6 days away, 5-6 days away, which is good. Then we obviously got Porto on Tuesday to play. Then we've got a nice break again. Could go again for some hot weather training in Dubai before we then go to play Man City in the biggest game of the season at the Etihad. After that game against Man City, so by April the 1st, April Fool's Day, I think we will all have a very good idea of how far Arsenal are going to go in this Premier League. Because I think if we beat Brentford and if we pull off the miracle that is beating Man City at the Etihad, not saying what happened, but hypothetically, stay with me here right now, guys, yeah? If we beat Man City at the Etihad and beat Brentford, I think we're favourites for the title, in my opinion. I genuinely believe so. Now, would I take a point at the Etihad? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'd take a point against Man City right now, despite the fact that we're on form and they're obviously on form as well, but they're not glittering to the same tune that Arsenal are right now. But still, you got to understand that Man City are a tough team to beat. And if we take 4 points of Liverpool and Man City this season, we've already taken 4 points of Liverpool, drawing at Anfield and winning at the Emirates. We've already beaten Man City at the Emirates. So minimum, we're getting 3 points. If we can take 4 points of Man City and Liverpool, the title's in our hands, in my opinion. It's in our hands. We've done our job in the big games. That's how I look at it sometimes. So for me, we got to keep moving in the right direction, keep going forward, long may it continue. Let's get into your comments. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe down below. My road to 6,000 subscribers. I'll be back streaming, hopefully, for the Arsenal game next Saturday against Brentford and again on Sunday for a humongous game. Liverpool against Man City, crunch time in the Premier League, massive implications for our club Arsenal as well. Jeff, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. They should have been trying harder to get the 7th goal. Yeah, you predicted 7-0 in my last stream, so you almost got that one spot on. But yeah, you're 100% right, man. 100% right. Arsenal took our foot off the gas. And look, I have no problem with that. I wanted 10-0 personally, I can't lie. I'm a greedy guy, I wanted 10-0. But I understood the assignment. It was 6-0. Job was done. Didn't need to go basically like gung-ho with it. Just understand where we're at in the game. We're dominating. No need to put our foot on the gas too much. Let's just take it as it is and continue going on to the next game. And that's what we've done. Look, I want to say no injuries. I know Martinelli came off injured, but I don't think it was a bad injury. It was more of an impact injury. But the main thing for us was job done, convincing performance. Like, we just took them to the cleaners, guys. If I show you the stats right now, some of you are going to go, wow. When I say this is the easiest game in the Premier League, I say it for a reason. I genuinely mean it. Look at these stats, guys, 6-0 victory. That's not the only thing. Forget just 6-0. Sheffield United had 4 shots, 0 on target, and 19% of the ball. 19% possession. Arsenal had 22 shots, 10 shots on target, and 81% of the ball. Look at that. Look at those stats right now, guys, Look at it. That is absolute obliteration. That's not, in my opinion, Premier League versus Premier League. That's Premier League against League 2. That's Premier League against Conference League type stuff. I'm not even joking when I say that, guys. Like, no offense to Sheffield United. But when I watched that game today, from about 10 minutes in, I genuinely thought if an alien came down to planet Earth and watched that game, they would think Sheffield United were in like the Championship. If that. Genuinely, if that. They were bad today, man. Like, bad. So for me, I don't even know if the bookies are even taking bets on them staying in the Premier League. It must be evens on them getting relegated. There's no way, because I think they're definitely going down. Burnley will go down as well, make no mistake about it. But Sheffield United, again, especially today, they were car crash bad, man. Like, abysmally bad. I think they've lost in their last 3 home games by a margin of 5 goals or more, which is absolutely like abysmal, like genuinely bad, guys. I don't think I've seen a worse Premier League team in my existence, and that's been honest. I mean, I know Derby had like the lowest points total ever, but I don't really remember that Derby team. I was too young. But this, in terms of performances I've seen, this is bad, guys. Like, bad. Sheffield United were abysmal, exactly. Have to feel for their fans. You shouldn't be out of the game after 15 minutes. And people were leaving after 15 minutes. I don't blame them. Man. Like, genuinely. I was saying this to my dad. I was watching the game with my dad. I was saying, do you think, guys, that clubs should refund their fans if they're 5-0 down at half-time? I genuinely think that should be the case to an extent. Like, you should be able to refund your ticket if your team is 5-0 down at half-time. Because there's no way you could come to a football game where you've got emotion, you've got a stake in the game, whether it's you're putting a bet down, whether it's just you're watching your football team play, and you're 5-0 down at half-time. That's a dagger through the heart. In my opinion, I think you should be getting some kind of compensation. Like, maybe even if they give out a free drink at half-time, maybe even. I'm not sure. But if your team's 5-0 down, surely you can't just walk out of there having wasted your money, wasted your time, and gone home depressed. So I think something's got to be done, because that was bad, man. Like, bad. Sheffield have given up completely. They know they are going down and just don't care. And that's the saddest thing, because you got to get to a point sometimes where you play for pride more than anything. I'm not saying you're gonna stay in the Premier League, but at least play for pride. And I think at this point now, and I rate Chris Wilder for doing this, when you do get to a point, right, where you know you're not going to win the game, where you know it's out of time. For me, genuine opinion, right, for the last 10 games this season, if I'm Sheffield United, I'd play the academy. I'm not saying play the full like under 15s, but play a lot of the academy players. Because I remember my club Arsenal, right, about 3-4 years ago during the COVID season, when it was bad for Arsenal, I'm talking like bad, where we were struggling to win games. Sheffield United finished 2 points off Arsenal, I believe, one of the seasons. I think it was a 2020 season. I really enjoyed watching academy players play for Arsenal, whether it was Saka, Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Reece Nelson. That's what carried me through some of the Arsenal games, seeing these academy players play on the pitch, because one thing academy players give you, they give you effort and they give you something to actually believe in, because they're going to get better. If your team's struggling, the one thing you can get behind is an 18-year-old kid on the football pitch, because at least you know that's something to believe in going forwards. So if I was Chris Wilder, sack off these old heads, sack off the old players. I know they've got Premier League experience, but it's not like that experience is worth anything right now, to be honest. I'll play a lot of the young players, man. Why not? Give a lot of the young players a go in the team. If anything, it gives them Premier League experience for the next time they make it there. That's the main thing for me. And if anything, they might put in a really good performance and you can sell them in the summer for a lot of money. Who knows, man? That's what I would do personally if I was Chris Wilder, but I'm not a manager. Like many games, though, second half. That's why double figures has never happened. Exactly, yeah. That I actually thought so. I said the best way a team's going to win a game 10-0 is if they're like 3-0 up at half time, because when you're in the half, you don't take your foot off the gas during the half. It's when you come out in the second half that you take your foot off the gas. You've had the team talk, you've had the rest. You're obviously you've changed the game plan, etc. You're just sitting back, but during the half, you don't think about that stuff. You're just in flow state. You're just cooking. Goals are coming left, right, center. It's when you come out in the second half where subs are made and all that stuff's happening. Everyone just takes their foot off the gas. So I think the best chance to win 10-0 is actually for teams only like 3-0 up at half time rather than like 5 or 6-0 up. Because if you're 6-0 up at half time, you're just going to sit back for the second half. But if you're like 2-3-0 up at half time, you know the game's still in the balance going into the second half. And then in the second half, you rump them like 5, 6, 7 goals basically. That's got to be the game plan. But look, here's the way it is, man. I would have loved to see 10-0 happen. I would have absolutely loved it. But I can't complain winning the game 8-0. 8-0. Can't complain winning the game 6-0. The bottom two really bad, I agree. The points total is getting worse every year. And this could be the first year in a long time where all 3 promoted teams get relegated again, which would be interesting. But if that does happen, guys, yeah, Sheffield United and Burnley, I have absolutely no positive words to say about them, about either of those clubs. Genuinely, if both of them get relegated, good riddance. If Luton Town get relegated, hand on heart, they shouldn't go down with their heads down. They should go down with their heads held high. Because I genuinely think Luton Town have put in a good account for themselves. Burnley and Sheffield United, they can go down. I don't care one bit, bro. I'm not even going to give them any compliments or any credit. They can get binned off to the gulag, to the championship. But if Luton Town do go down, given the obviously how the other teams are doing, I'll actually give them some respect and some words of positivity, because I actually think they've given a good account for themselves. They've played well. They've kept it tight. Even in games against Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, they've either got a point or they've kept the game really close, right to the death. So yeah, I give them a heap of credit. Burnley, Sheffield United, none of that stuff, man. They're not going to get binned. Arsenal, 31 goals in 5 games. Incredible run of form and only 3rd. Incredible right now. Yeah, we're hitting flow state. And now we've got to keep going, man. Keep going. 31st of March, that's the Man City game, I believe. Or 30th of March, one of those two. I'm glad we've got a goal difference cushion. Yes, because it matters, guys. Trust me, goal difference matters. Because I know in 2014, I believe it was, Liverpool were fighting for the title and they were so transfixed on getting their goal difference up. They were 3-0 up at Crystal Palace and were so worried about getting more goals, they threw it away and drew 3-3. So goal difference matters. Even if it's just psychologically, it does matter. And right now, we've got a superb goal difference. We're running away with the goal difference stats right now, which I love. Goals galore indeed, man. Brilliant stuff. I hope he never plays for Arsenal again. Goodbye, Zinchenko. Yeah, I'd bin him off as well, to be honest. Liability, exactly as you said. I agree. Sion, I appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Fair play also for competing on all fronts. Unfortunately, I've never seen my club do it again. They're about to sack Poch and hire Amorim. Well, Chelsea needs to do something. Get rid of someone, because that League Cup was terrible, man, the way I watched that game. The League Cup final. Competing on all fronts, not really, because we lost the FA Cup and Carabao Cup early, so I can't really say that. But we're competing in the Premier League and we're in the Champions League still, so that's the main thing. Also, would you say Sheffield United 23-24? I can't. Is that saying you're saying, would you say Sheffield United 23-24 is worse than Derby County 07-08? I don't remember Derby County 07-08. I was born, obviously, but I wasn't old enough to remember it. So I can't really comment on that one, to be honest with you. But it's the worst Premier League team I've seen in my lifetime. That's for an absolute fact. Because it is 66 goals. Bloody hell, that's a lot, man. 66 goals in 27 games. That's like 3 goals a game. That's bad. It's over 2 goals a game. That's bad, man. Lordy, that's bad. Exactly. Points-wise, can't see Derby being beaten. Yeah, not necessarily points-wise, but from what I've seen in performances, this has got to be the worst team I've seen personally. Derby County's 07-08 conceded 89 and scored 20, got 11 points. Yeah, 11 points is abysmal. That's so imagine actually dropping points to Derby County in 07-08. That must be bad then. That Derby side was awful. One win in one. Who would that win against? Who would that win against in those 38 games? I'd love to hear it. Sheffield United and Burnley won't get to 20 points. That's bad enough. Yeah, I don't think they will either, to be honest. I mean, you never know. End of the season, they might have a little run. They might bring in a Sam Allardyce or something and go for a little bit of a late run at it. But right now, I think they're a long way off it, to be honest, guys. Long way off it. To be fair, we've had other awful teams like Sunderland and Aston Villa. Yeah, to be fair, we have at times. Even I remember one time when we had, who was that team that was bad, man? I can't remember. It was a few years back. That team that was bad, man. Like they were not getting any points whatsoever. They were going down. I can't remember right now. But we've had some bad teams. I remember thinking, yeah, these are not meant to be in the Premier League. Huddersfield one time, I remember them thinking, oh my God, we were like tearing them to shreds at one point. I thought Cardiff were bad in the Prem. Yeah, bro. Cardiff, even they were a little bit of a stint. Thanks from Uganda. Big up my man, Mugisha from Uganda. If Luton Town, Sheffield United and Burnley all go down, this would be the first time since 1998 that all three promoted teams went back down. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. I haven't seen it in a long time. Well, it's not happened in my lifetime, but I think it can happen this season. I genuinely think it can. Just shows it doesn't matter how you get promoted. Burnley won the championship last year, winning the title, and Luton won the playoffs and have done the best. Exactly. And I thought Burnley would do okay, given they've got Premier League experience, given they finished top of the championship. But you're 100% right, man. It doesn't mean anything because the Premier League is that much of a standard above the championship, man. Because Burnley walked the championship, as you said. They were playing football for fun. But dominating tiki-taka football in the championship is a whole different thing when you get to the Premier League, man, because that's way different stuff. Way different. That one win was against Newcastle. Oh, poor Newcastle, man. They beat Derby 1-0 at home. Sorry, Newcastle Derby beat 1-0 at home. I remember that awful Derby side. They beat them 1-0 at home, man. They must have been celebrating like they won the World Cup. Genuinely. Huddersfield and Fulham. Yeah, I was thinking of Huddersfield. Not necessarily Fulham. I don't remember Fulham being as bad at times. Fulham, I remember were in the Europa League at one point. I remember that Fulham team, and that was a team for the streets, that Fulham team. But yeah, guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in. I'm going to head over, hopefully, to the football terrace now to give my opinion there. I'll be back definitely on the weekend for Arsenal against Brentford. Maybe midweek. I'll see what games are playing. I don't think I'm going to be back for the game between Man City and Copenhagen because I don't really care about that game, to be honest. Man City are through anyway. But I'll see with the other games going on in terms of the I know Real Madrid play and maybe some other games as well. But I'll definitely see what's going on. Either way, Saturday and Sunday. For an absolute fact, double header. Saturday, Arsenal, Brentford. Sunday, Liverpool, Man City. Be there or be square. Hopefully, both games go in Arsenal's favour. But regardless, we're gearing up for an incredible title race going on. See you on the tennis. Appreciate that. Do Real Madrid, Leipzig and Bayern Lazio. Potentially, I'll see. I'll see if I watch those games. I've got some stuff to do this week in particular. I'll definitely try and catch Bayern Lazio maybe. But yeah, I'll see. And if I do, well, stay tuned to the channel. Bell notifications on so you do not miss any streams. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Hope to catch you guys all in my next one. Take care.